Ladies and gentlemen, from day one now to day two, we have always been talking about the future of Telangana. As they say, Telangana rising. And the next topic of discussion is definitely going to revolve around the same. Ladies and gentlemen, let me throw light on what the next topic is going to be, what is going to be discussed on stage. The topic of discussion is going to revolve around Telangana Rising 2047, building a world-class life sciences ecosystem. And to take this conversation forward, we have with us Ms. Anu Acharya, the CEO of Map My Genome, who is going to lead this fire chat. So without much ado, I humbly request Ms. Anu Acharya to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, let us please welcome her with a huge round of applause. And we have the privilege of hearing from distinguished leader who is shaping Telangana's industrial and innovative landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Minister for Information Technology, Electronics and Communication, Industries and Commerce and Legislative Affairs, Shri D. Sridhar Babu Garu, for the special fire chat. Over to you, Ms. Anu.
Hello. So since we have only about 15 minutes, I just wanted to expand further on all the life sciences discussions that we just had, the investor session that was just going on. You have a very, very, very ambitious vision, right, to get to 3 trillion, 25 billion for the life sciences, which basically means we'll have to increase our GDP or double our GDP. So what is that one killer advantage that Telangana has that will allow us to be able to pursue that vision?
Oh, thank you. And I would like to mention here, the vision and ambition to grow 1 trillion by 2034 and by 2047 to make it to 3 trillion is ambitious vision, we know it. But keeping in view of our strengths, and we are not inclined to go on an incremental growth. We just want to take a quantum leap in terms of making our economy move from 250 billion to 1 trillion by 2034. And the advantage being, yesterday, me and our Honorable Chief Minister was mentioning about what basically is the advantage in the state of Telangana, where we mentioned about you have the high-tech city over here, and we have the Genome Valley over here, the place where the centers of excellence and the place where we have showed to the world these are the capitals for IT and these are the capitals for the pharma and the life sciences. Both are here and in tomorrow's taking this advantage of the tech bio. And the convergence of these two will push economy, especially if you see in the life sciences sector too, where now at present $100 billion industry by 2030, where we envisaged by 2030 it has to increase by $250 billion industry. So this is the greatest advantage where we are trying to look at, and we will be moving in the same phase and the same manner with equal strength and more strength to climb up the ladder by 1 trillion economy to 3 trillion economy by 2047.
That's pretty amazing. So I think what really caught my attention in the whole document that I was reading was this whole framework that you created, the cure, pure, and rare. And of course, I was, when you mentioned rare, which was more agriculture, In our case, I think a lot of people sitting here are probably thinking of rare diseases. But how do you take this whole framework and kind of balance out this urban innovation that you were talking about, the tech bio and everything else, but also make sure that there is a balance with the rural economy as well?
No, keeping in view of the vision of sustainable growth and innovation-led economy, our Chief Minister, Mr. Revanth Reddy, and our government specifically thought, how should we place this state of Telangana and Hyderabad by 2047, when we complete 100 years of our independence, where shall we stand? And for that, we should have some sort of a definitive parameters where we will unveil it to the people and try to get the response from, people, from the industry partners, from the intellectuals, from the different pathgoers of our state. And that's how we have come up, with the concepts, the cure. That cure is nothing but the core urban region economy. And the next is the pure, that is peripheral, urban, rural economy, and rare, that concerns really regarding the rural economy. These are all three growth engine value strengths, what we are trying to look at. And how do we classify cure? The cure is the area, specifically keeping in view of our geographical limits. If everybody would have seen that, we have outer ring road area. Inside the outer ring road area is the core Hyderabad area, where we will try to concentrate all our strengths, all our energies into putting up our service industry, R&D, into this core rural economy, and try to give lots of impetus and encouragement in this core area. And sustainability is the main feature. If we are looking at in few states like Delhi or in other states, where the pollution has become a major impediment, major issue, where air quality index, if we have seen it, that sort of a situation our future generation should not see. Maybe in 2035 or 47. So we are just trying to pull out all the polluting industries from right now, which are existing from in the cure area, to the pure area, the peripheral areas, and try to see that the industry, the manufacturing sector takes shape over there. And in the rare area where, the agriculture or agriculture allied sector or the poultry sector, which can be given lots of impetus and lots of incentives to come up with the rural base. This is the main core theme of our Telangana Rising vision. So this all encompassed together, we have to reach to that our goal of 1 trillion and 3 trillion.
I think that's amazing. So, when I was hearing you say all this, I was thinking that, biotech has a role in each one of these areas. Would the government then put some sort of like a grand challenge or some sort of an incentive for industry to find the solutions to long-term sustainability, like your pollution issues or agricultural issues? We are already, I think, there's a lot that the biotech industry does in those areas.
No, yeah, absolutely right. The basic point is for everybody right now is sustainable living. So this is the area where if we see many industries are located inside the outer ring road. So these areas, these industries has to be moved out. So for these industries to move out, we are set and brought in a policy. This transformation policy will induce and encourage the industries which have a polluting factor in them to move away from internal side of ORR to outside. So these are the few initial reforms what we are trying to put it, and we have brought in a policy formulation for that to encourage them to move from the cure area to the pure area. So these are all things what we are looking at, and at the same time, trying to sensitize the industry partners about it, and trying to inculcate the feeling of responsibility in them, and trying to literally see how technology will help them in trying to literally see they are equally competent to face their vertical of the industry when technology being the prime mobilizer right now, is a game changer right now for any industry. For example, if I say the traditional industries, which are located inside the outer ring road, now there is a facility which has been given by the government to move out. So given that facility, they can find a land outside the outer ring road, try to, integrate the new technologies into their streams of production and come out more competitively in this new world.
I think that's fascinating. I think it's a perfect balance between all of that. Now, I'm a proud Hyderabad resident and I'm very happy to have been here. Especially great was that the Genome Valley was created here many, many years ago. We are the vaccine capital and pharma capital and so on. How do we now, in your new vision, the pure and the rare, given the new, looking at the long gestation periods that biotech industry faces, and of course, what you have just mentioned, how do we now traverse this path of going from Genome Valley to becoming the best in the world, right? Something like your broad, the whole MIT, Harvard, broad ecosystem versus somebody else. How do we traverse that path?
Yes, our Genome Valley, when we started 2.5 decades back, where our great scientists and industry leaders, primarily who are from this state of Telangana, they showed their mettle and strength, and that has proved itself to attract many industry partners and many top industrialists from this vertical of life sciences and the pharma industry to come and stay put over here. Basically, we have shown our reflection in our talent and proved ourselves in trying to put the infrastructure in place. Now the time has come for us where we will try to literally emphasize on the digital infrastructure, which shall be encompassing each and every vertical of the industries, including the life sciences too, where we are trying to create the fiber connectivity to each and every village of our Telangana, not only to the industrial estates like Genome Valley. So the digital infrastructure what we are trying to provide. And tomorrow, there is a great demand from the data center industry partners to put their data centers over here. How shall we position the data centers? And how the data centers will be helpful, especially in terms of the AI, to come out with the best results, to come out with the solutions which shall be useful for the life sciences. In terms of the drug discovery, if you can see, in trying to come up with some molecule with the least of the resources in terms of the financial resources, that helps them to come up with a drug which shall be at a low cost for a patient. Ultimate thing should be this, and we are trying to create that sort of a momentum in space and the platform for all our industrial partners over here.
So I guess as the Minister of IT, but you've also managed to put together the life sciences and the data piece together. I think that's the part where I think our advantage as a Telangana will really rise, because we have both
Yes.
IT as well as the pharma. Do you think that, we can, you've also mentioned about the digital health infrastructure. What can we do different as a state to get more of this research, both from a digital and life sciences perspective?
No, here, our government is trying to really take the health profile of each and every citizen of this state. And that is one. And our government is also trying to put the biobanks.
Correct.
This is a new initiative. And the third thing is, how do we try to strengthen the digital infrastructure which is already in place, which shall connect to the industry partners, and the drug should be put into the practical use. For example, if I say a person who needs immediate health care, who is from the remote village, who is about 3 to 350 kilometers from Hyderabad, can access to a doctor from Hyderabad in a split of a second. So the digital connectivity, we are trying to put it across and trying to sensitize our people in terms of the digital literacy. For example, if I say in terms of AI, what we are trying to mention about is, we are the first state to sensitize our citizens, our industrial partners, including our policy makers, our policy implementers, how these cutting-edge technologies like AI will have an impact on their lives, on their activities, on their enterprises. So this is how we are trying to really see how well the technology will help and aid the industry partners and move forward. The basic strength of our state, what we have is the connectivity. The connectivity is a basic advantage what we have right now. And secondly, the creation of the biobanks can also be helpful in coming up with new solutions which shall literally be helpful for the citizens. This is what we are trying to do it in a big way. And ultimate goal and aim of this to encourage all our industry partners to make them available. Here, as you rightly said, the tech and the biology, convergence of these two, that is called the tech bio, that is our main phrase of this Bio Asia over here, where they can take the little advantage of this, stay put their manufacturing, come up with the new molecules, and in a faster time, in the speedy calculation with ultimately, the algorithms which our talented people will come in terms of, medtech, can be useful for all these industry partners to come and stay put over here.
I agree. I mean, there's nothing better than having a well-characterized biobank for this industry, right? And along with that, if we have the AI, the compute, I think that convergence is truly going to help us in coming up with better drug discovery solutions and others, and I'm sure that will make a lot of people in this audience very, very happy. But I think, my last question outside, I do have some surprise after that, but my last question is revolves around the whole, how do you, as we grow this state and attract a lot of this talent, how do we make it more livable? How do you had some 40 crore tourists and a nighttime capital. What is that thought about?
The nighttime capital, this will be the first time ever in South Asia to make it nighttime capital. Nightlife capital is meant to create some value in the individual's life story. Here, we not only meant business over here, we are giving a platform to work, to play, and also to earn. So this lifetime nightlife city will add to our economy. One, try to create employment and try to literally see our economy moves from here to the next level. So this would be the first ever initiative ever done in the South Asia. There are few economies which they have encompassed this nightlife model. Now we are trying to put it across. In a year's time, we will try to see that, we are creating some platforms where nightlife is possible.
I think that sums it up. So you have a livable cities, You have sustainable, you have the rural infrastructure, you have the peri-urban and the urban, and you have the biobanks, and you have everything. So I think it's a really well thought out vision. But before I let you go, Minister, I had 3 short questions to ask you. Hopefully not very difficult, one line answer. Genome Valley or Silicon Valley?
Genome Valley.
Great. Quantum computing or drug design, or quantum computing for drug design or remote surgery?
Quantum computing for drug design.
That's great. And 3 trillion GDP or a 10-year increase in health span for your Telangana bidda?
You know, it's both.
Both. All right, great. Thank you so much. I think you gave us all the best, there's
Thank
a great
you.
vision and a great answers for all of us. So thank you so much. Thank you for all the work that you do for them. Thank you.